Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be sharing Gulgula recipe Fiji style. So in a basin I've got 3 pialas of self-raising flour. I'll also be using a bit of ghee. I've got 1 piala of sugar. Now that's according to taste. You can add more if you want to. I've got 3/4 piala of powdered milk, and then I've got some raisins, cardamom and nutmeg. I'm only using a little bit of raisin because my family doesn't like a lot of raisins, but you can add more if you want to in there. So what we'll do now is we'll take about 1 teaspoon of ghee and we'll give that a mix with our self-raising flour. You don't want to overdo this step because that can ruin your gulgula. So once you've added in your ghee, just give it a stir, and then for about a minute, and then you'll add in your dry ingredients. So add in your powdered milk, your sugar, your raisins, cardamom and nutmeg. Once you've added that in, you can give that a nice stir. Now in terms of powdered milk, so if you don't have any powdered milk, what you can do is you can skip the powdered milk step and just use liquid milk when you're mixing the batter, or you can skip that altogether if you're wanting to make it vegan friendly, or if you are lactose intolerant. Alright, so I've given that a nice mix, and now what I'll do is I'll add in my water. You want to add in enough water so that it's thick enough for you to pour the batter into the oil with your hands. You don't want it to be too runny because then you'll start, then it'll be really hard to fry it. So you'll shortly see how I test my batter when I'm mixing it. So I've given it a nice mix with the spoon. And once I've done that, what I'll do is I'll use actually my hands to work out the gluten in the gulgula. So there we go. That's how I'm beating it with my hand, just making sure that everything's nicely incorporated. And what I'll do now is just take a small batch, and I'll try and see if the consistency is right and if it's falling off easily with my hands. Cool. So I'll give that a nice mix, and I've got my oil heating up on the stove, and we'll go in there and we'll start frying it off. So when I fry it off, what I do is I like to wet my hand a little bit before I take the batter into my hand and drop it into the hot oil. I'll be showing that a bit later on how I do it. So you want your heat to be medium heat. You don't want it to be too hot, because if it's really hot, it will cook on the outside and it will be raw inside. And you don't want it to be too cold as well, because you don't want to do it in low heat, because what will happen is your batter will actually break in the oil if you add it into cold oil. And you don't want to overcrowd your pan as well, so add as much as you can in there, but don't overcrowd it that the temperature goes down. Cool. So I'll repeat the process. So I'll put in the batter with my hands in there. Now if you don't feel comfortable using your hands with this, you can always use a spoon as well, a tablespoon, and you can drop that, just take the batter on the tablespoon and then just drop that in the oil as well. Now with your batter as well, what you can do is you can also add in mashed banana. You can add in your desiccated coconut in there as well, if you want to. It all tastes really good as well, especially with banana and coconut. Some people like to put in grated pumpkin as well, so you can do that as well. That's quite good. Awesome. So once I've added that in, I've let the batter sit there for about a minute, and then I will use a spoon and I'll just keep on gently stirring it. And the reason for this is because I'm wanting it to cook all over. I don't want it to get brown on one end and then not brown not brown on the other end. So you want it to be nice and golden brown all throughout. So we'll keep on giving it a stir and just letting it cook there. There we go. That's looking really good. That's cooking away really nicely. So we'll just leave that there, stir it. There we go. That looks really good now. And that's time for me to take it off the heat as well. So I'll give it one last stir. There we go. I'm showing that to you. We'll give that one last stir, and then I'll use another spoon to just strain it off, just so that there is an excess oil that's coming through. Cool. So my spoon's a bit too big for the pan, but that's fine. So I'm just draining off all the oil, and that's looking really good. One thing I've noticed with gulgula, it's looking a bit light brown, but once you take it off the heat, it does go a bit dark. So there we go. I'm showing you my method there. So that's how I dip my hand in the water, and then I'll take my batter and I'll continue with the process. So just there we go. So just putting it in there and just letting it sit there and just cook off. And shortly I'll show you what my gulgula looks like. This is actually a really nice recipe, really good, really easy to make as well. And it tastes really nice with tea, juice, and it keeps well as well. So there we go. That's looking really good. That's cooked right through. It was a bit too hot for my hand, but I thought, I'd show it to the camera. That's looking really, really good. And now what I've done is I've served this with bhajia, with the recipe I shared yesterday, along with some imli chutney, and this was for Holi. Now guys, if you like my channel and if you like the recipes that I'm sharing, feel free to like, share and subscribe. Take care. Bye.